No DQ Galaxy. We are live with a recap of Friday Night Smackdown following the 2023 edition of SummerSlam. This was a very newsworthy show. Thank you all for watching this live. I very much appreciate it. If you're watching on demand, thank you for watching as well. Now, for live viewers, just a quick note. There is a thunderstorm right now here in Michigan. Hopefully, I get through this without any issues. Just letting you know in case something happens. All right, let's get right to it. SmackDown. We have a new commentary team. It's a three-person team. You have Kevin Patrick now as the lead play-by-play announcer, Corey Graves doing color, and Michael Cole is also doing color. I would be fine with just a two-man team, but I guess having Michael Cole out there to be the veteran to help Kevin Patrick along, that's what they're going with. Whatever. I get it, but I would prefer a two-man team. Michael Cole really doesn't need to be there, but they apparently beg to differ. We had our opening match. Yes, we actually started SmackDown with a match. We had Charlotte Flair versus Asuka coming off of SummerSlam. It was a back and forth match. We saw some footage from SummerSlam. Charlotte came over the top onto Asuka and then got her back in the ring, came off the top with a crossbody, did some chops. She hit the spear, went for the figure four, and then all of a sudden, Damage Control showed up. The entire Damage Control, the new women's champion Io Sky, Bayley, and Dakota Kai, who was still injured, but she was out there. Damage Control reunited. Asuka took advantage of the situation, but then Charlotte hit her with a big boot. Bayley got on the apron. Charlotte went after Bayley. Then Io came off the top rope, attacking both Charlotte and Asuka, causing a disqualification. Now, I'm thinking, what was the point of them doing this? Like, why even get involved in this match? But I guess they're showing everybody that they're still the most dominant force. And, well, the real reason is that they didn't want to have Charlotte or Asuka do the job here. So you have the heels ruin the match. It was what it was, but it was cool to see Dakota Kai, and she did not get physical, by the way. It was Bayley and Io doing the work. But I like the idea of Dakota being like a mouthpiece for them, or even just being a manager, having that type of role while she's recovering. We'll see if she's going to be on regularly. But this really just did feel like filler, in my opinion. Not the strongest opening to SmackDown as far as I'm concerned. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, would you rather be in a thunderstorm or watch WCW Thunder? I'd rather watch WCW Thunder because with a thunderstorm, there's always a risk of a lightning strike, and it's just not a good thing. WCW Thunder is more mental torture and damaging you mentally if you're watching it, screwing with your mind, that sort of thing. Rage of Wrestling sent in a $5 super chat. Walter Cruz's new handle says, we know what everyone wants to talk about, but Aaron will get to it. So stay on topic, please. Also like and subscribe and get merch. Hashtag stick to my shtick. Yes, nodq.com/merch is where you can get No DQ merch. And yes, please stay on the topic. I appreciate that. But just so you guys know, any super chat, it automatically gets starred on StreamYard, which means I will get to it. I will not forget your super chat. You can send me a super chat about the main event segment. I'll get to it. I promise you that. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. It says, better Storm, Tony Storm, or Lance Storm? with all due respect to Lance, have to go with Tony. Tony's just a great character with the Outcasts. And Lance Storm, he was a great wrestler, but not the most charismatic guy. I think he would admit that. I have to go with Tony. And she's better on the eyes. Just saying. With all due respect to Mr. Storm. We had footage of the tribal combat match, aka no DQ match at SummerSlam. And then we had a Santos Escobar backstage promo. He said he's confident. He talked about how sacrifice pays off. But then the United States champion, Austin Theory, attacked him and slammed a crate door into his leg, setting up an injury angle. Would Austin Theory even defend the title? Would Santos make it for the match? We had a little bit of a cliffhanger here for later in the show. More on that in a few minutes. And to anybody watching live right now, thank you for tuning in. If you could do me a favor, just share a link to this video on social media. That would be very much appreciated. We had a Karrion Kross video package about AJ Styles. Yawn, it's the same old, blah, blah, blah. His plan is to destroy the plan. A prophet is nothing without his disciples, yada, yada, yada. We had a little video announcement that Edge will be returning next week in Toronto. More on Edge here in just a few moments. And backstage, Rey Mysterio was there. The trainers were there checking on Santos Escobar again. Would he make it to the main event? We would have to find out. We had Karrion Kross versus AJ Styles. I did not care about this match. I had little to no interest in this match. I saw it at Madison Square Garden. Rey Mysterio, he was supposed to win the qualifying match according to SSBS Fanboy. I'll get to that in a few minutes. Just stay tuned. But let's focus on the Karrion Kross match. The entrance was botched, for one thing. Scarlett did the thing where she ducks down and Kross is standing right there looking all intimidating, except, well, he wasn't there. He was late getting into the ring. That was one botch, and the match was going pretty well for a while. Kross was doing some trash talking, and Kross gave Styles a DVD onto the announce table. And then after the commercial break, Styles started to make his comeback. Now, one of his signature moves is he does that reverse DDT out of the corner, but they botched it. And they tried to do it again, and it was botched again. Styles was able to actually successfully hit a springboard 450. Scarlett saved Kross, and then Michin went after her. Kross put on the cross jacket submission, but Styles escaped. And then Styles avoided the cross hammer, went for the Styles clash, but then Scarlett got on the apron again. Michin threw Scarlett over the table, and then Styles finally picked up the victory. And I would hope this is finally the end of this feud that, frankly, never really went anywhere to begin with. Like, AJ Styles beat him in that 2-minute match. That should have just been it. Like, at that point, who cares? Psycho Jet Black sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, the problem with Karrion Kross is that he's the new eater of pinfalls, just a spooky guy there to cut meaningless promos and get pinned. What happened? I'm not even sure he qualifies as a spooky guy anymore with the long hair. It just doesn't make him as intimidating, in my opinion. The bald look was better, but I get why he went away from that, because people associate the bald look with the mask and that terrible run in 2021. Yeah, I'm not really sure what you do with Kross at this point. Like it feels like he has completely lost any kind of a thing that makes him unique in WWE. Like even the entrance, they can't even get the damn entrance right. It's crazy. Very unfortunate because several years ago, it felt like he had a lot of legitimate momentum and could have been like a major star in WWE. But yeah, doesn't look like that's going to be the case now, unfortunately for him. We had a Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar video package. Why this was on SmackDown? I mean, is it really necessary? I guess they have to make sure that the SmackDown audience, that I guess is maybe slightly different than the Raw audience, maybe because slightly more people watch Fox and watch SmackDown on Fox, except for the people that did not get to see it on TV because of the football games that were going on. I had to watch it on one of those free sites. Thanks a lot, Fox. We had Austin Theory backstage talking about how he's upset he won't get to defend his title. And then Mysterio showed up and confronted him and said Santos will, in fact, make it out there. We had a surprise appearance by the rated R superstar Edge. By the way, SSBS fanboy, that's very illegal watching it on a free site. I pay $70 a month so I can do my job, and I turn on SmackDown Friday night, YouTube TV. I pay $70 and SmackDown's not on, so they can kiss my ass. Anyways, Edge came out there, felt like he wasn't advertised, but he said it's been way too long since he's been in Calgary. And then he revealed that he wants to have a match on next week's show in Toronto against somebody he's never had a match with. That person was Sheamus. He said that Sheamus is the guy that lit a fire in his butt to start wrestling again. He brought up the mountain bike story where he fell off the mountain bike while riding with Sheamus and he wasn't hurt or anything. And that's the moment he realized he would come back to the ring and come out of retirement. He talked about how Sheamus helped him get ready for the 2020 Rumble. He invited Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes to the ring. Sheamus came out there with the Brawling Brutes, and Sheamus wanted to see the footage. They basically were ribbing each other at this point, showed the footage, and Edge was in the video with his pants down, showing the bruise on his butt. So Edge pulled up a picture. He just happened to have it ready, a picture of Sheamus on his daughter's bike. Sheamus was not amused by this, saying that picture was supposed to be destroyed. And then Sheamus got serious and talked about how in 2004, WWE came to Dublin, Ireland, and everybody gave him the cold shoulder. Sheamus was trying to get some advice. The only person that would talk to him was Edge. I don't know if that's a true story or not, but the mountain bike deal, I mean, that's already been documented. They showed that footage on the Broken Skull sessions on the WWE Network, but unlike AEW just assumes you've seen everything, you know everything, you're all intelligent, and you're just paying attention to wrestling 24/7. You watch every single thing. With WWE, they got to make sure everybody knows. So they showed the footage. They acted like this was a new revelation, that nobody knew this was why Edge came back with the mountain bike deal, even though it has been documented. But that's really a key difference between WWE and AEW. AEW assumes you know everything. WWE assumes you know nothing. And they present it that way on television. So, I mean, I think there's a balance. Like, you don't have to go too extreme in either direction. Like, you do want to explain things to fans, but I think the whole mountain bike thing, maybe some people did not know about it, but it was on the WWE Network. And you would think that most most WWE fans and Edge fans would have watched the Broken Skull sessions. I don't know, maybe not. So anyways, long story short here with all this, Edge wanted the match. Sheamus did accept, but then pulled in Edge and maybe a little tease for the future, said, just hope you're not making a mistake. Now, what is going on here with this? Like, part of me thought this was going to be a heel turn right here, where Sheamus was going to attack Edge to set up the match next week with Sheamus as a heel with the Brawling Brutes. They did not do that, but there was a little subtle tease that maybe something bad's going to happen to Edge next week. I have a feeling like we could get that heel turn on next week's show with Sheamus going heel. Imagine that in Toronto, going heel on Edge and maybe doing a heavy angle where they try to break the neck of Edge or something like that. Would not shock me if they do that next week. We'll see. Next week, Toronto, Edge versus Sheamus. Like, he puts Edge out. Edge comes back just in time for WrestleMania, and he has his retirement match against Sheamus at WrestleMania in Philadelphia. There you go. I just booked it. We'll see what they do. We had footage shown of LA Knight and The Miz from Raw. Now, LA Knight is still part of SmackDown. So he came out there for a match with Flop Dollar or Top Dollar, whatever you want to call him. Michael Cole was out there. I guess this is why they had to have Michael Cole on commentary so he could rap. He actually started providing us with some bars about how great LA Knight is and how bad Top Dollar is. Yeah. And Ashanti Adonis was out there grabbing LA Knight's foot, taking a cheap shot, but then Knight made his comeback, knocked Ashanti off the apron, hit the signature elbow, the LA Knight elbow, and then picked up the win with the blunt force trauma. And then cut a promo afterwards because he got to have LA Knight talk. He did all of his lines, let me talk to you. Whose game is it? Everybody say it. LA Knight, all that stuff. So yeah, good stuff here. Crowd, as usual, very much into LA Knight. I have to say, like, this crowd was flat at times, and they were surprisingly, maybe I was not hearing properly on my computer instead of the TV, but maybe I felt like the crowd wasn't all that much into Edge's segment with Sheamus. Like, I felt like they were pretty quiet for it, but perhaps I'm wrong. Maybe it just didn't come across well on TV. Maybe they were reacting in the arena. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, better rapper, Michael Cole or Max Caster? Michael Cole's up there. I mean, Michael Cole might be an Eminem level or Ludacris or Busta Rhymes or Kanye West. I mean, Michael Cole might be the best of all time. There you go, Psycho Jet Black. Have him put out an album. Just like the Macho Man. He could even talk about JR. Be a man, JR. Call him out for a fight. And they donate the gate to charity or something like that. By the way, it's Hulk Hogan's 70th birthday. And they did a little video package and they acknowledged the Hulkster. And it was quite funny on Twitter. I could not resist. I had to put up that picture of Hulk Hogan with Booker T looking very menacing, standing right behind him. Got like 10,000 likes on Twitter. So thank you guys for sharing that. We had Santos Escobar telling Adam Pearce he was ready to go. But before the match, we had a little video of the Street Profits with Bobby Lashley. And Lashley talked about how they have unlimited possibilities. And they've already done great things, but there's still some untapped potential. SSBS Fanboy says, what's Twitter? Oh, yeah, that's right. It's X. Excuse me, princess. It's x.com/Aaron Rift if you want to follow me on X. There you go. I guess they're now the Soup Profits. Michael Cole called them that, but it might just be Michael Cole trying to be funny. But yeah, we'll see if that name sticks. They have all these nicknames for these guys. They had some ridiculous moniker for LA Knight. I thought Vince was out of commission. Maybe not. So Austin Theory jumped Santos Escobar during his entrance. And then Adam Pearce was out there. Rey Mysterio was out there. And I guess Santos gave Rey the okay to take Santos Escobar's spot in the match. So we had the title match, and Rey got in a lot of offense, was perhaps on the verge of winning. 619 to the back, but then Austin Theory caught another 619 attempt, tried to finish off Rey, but Rey countered, managed to hit the 619 to the face, came off with the springboard splash. 1, 2, 3. Rey Mysterio got the win. Impromptu match, gets the win over Austin Theory. I was very surprised by this. I was not surprised Theory lost the title. I felt like that was long overdue, but I was surprised it was Rey that won the title. Now, I feel like the plot is thickening here because remember, months ago when Santos and Rey were first aligned, I was thinking, okay, this is a setup. Santos is going to go heel on Rey Mysterio. That was my thought process from the beginning. And now Rey comes in, takes Santos's spot, and wins the title. Now, Santos was a good sport. He hugged Rey. He put the belt on his shoulder and celebrated with Rey by the stage as the pyro went off and everything. But I mean, yeah, this definitely feels like there's going to be more to this. And Santos is actually going to resent Rey for taking his spot and winning the title. We'll see. Interesting segment for sure. Poor Austin Theory. The guy feels like he's dead in the water. And I hate to say it. I've been saying this for weeks. I think they got a better Austin Theory in Grayson Waller. I think Grayson Waller is better on the mic, more charisma, and he's got the athleticism that Austin Theory has. And good-looking guy. You know, they're both good-looking guys. But I think Grayson Waller has more to offer. He's more of a sports entertainer than Austin Theory, and can do the talking segments and be that kind of guy that WWE likes. So yeah, I feel like Austin Theory is almost irrelevant now because they got Grayson Waller. Before we get to that real quick, a few super chats here. Let me get to those. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says, seriously, who did Cedric Alexander piss off? Sometimes you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And for whatever reason, you're stuck creatively. They don't have any plans for you. And you just don't get the opportunity. I think it could be bad luck because the guy is very talented. But sometimes you can have all the talent in the world, and if you're not in the right place at the right time, you're not going to reach your full potential. Psycho Jet Black also sent in his $2 super chat. Thank you, Psycho Jet Black, for the super chats. Says, here's an idea. Kross and Theory form a tag team. What is that going to be? Job Squad 3.0 or something? Like, I don't even know how those guys fit together other than they just have no momentum at the moment. Dead in the Water can be their tag team name. DOA. They could be the new DOA, Dead on Arrival. We had our main event segment. You knew it was going to be long. About 10:35 or 9:35, I should say. Excuse me. 9:35. Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa. No Jimmy Uso. Just the three of them coming out there. Commercial break. And then Roman does his whole acknowledge me thing. but he wanted to know where was Jimmy. Heyman did not know. And then all of a sudden, Jimmy does show up through the crowd. No music, no fanfare. And he gets in the ring. He talks about how he's not there because of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was saying that Jimmy could have anything he wants. He could have a car, he could have a jet, you name it. But Jimmy said it has nothing to do with Roman Reigns. Reigns then wanted to know if Jimmy wants power, wants to be main event Jimmy, the new right-hand man. Jey Uso showed up at this point, and he came into the ring, confronted Jimmy, and he said before 37 years goes down the toilet, he wants to know why. Why, Jimmy, why? And Jimmy said, I don't owe you an explanation. No, he didn't say that. I just made that up because that's like heel turn 101 explanation. I don't owe you an explanation. But he actually did explain it. He said he did it for The Rock. No, he didn't say that either. Really, seriously, he said he did it because he loves Jey. It wasn't because of jealousy, according to Jimmy. He said that he was afraid to lose Jey. He was afraid that Jey would become what Roman Reigns currently is. He said Roman Reigns is corrupt, and he did not want to see Jey become a manipulative asshole like Roman Reigns. And he actually said asshole on Fox, did not get bleeped out. Crowd started chanting asshole, did not get bleeped out. So I guess props to Fox on that one. Unless I watched the free internet version, the bootleg version from another country, and it was censored on Fox, in which case I stand corrected. But somebody let me know. Somebody that actually got to watch on Fox in the United States, was a-hole said, or was it bleeped? And the crowd was chanting it, so there would be like several seconds of silence in that case. Anyways, crowd liked that line. Brian Spencer says it was uncensored on YouTube TV, so there you go. Thank you for that. Jey was offered the opportunity to take out Jimmy. Jimmy said, do what you got to do. He was waiting for the shot, but Jey did not do it. Jimmy then walked out of the ring. Roman Reigns started gloating. He said, I told you so. Roman said that Jey is stupid and acts with his emotions. Told Jey to acknowledge him. And Jey acknowledged Roman with a super kick. He super kicked Roman. Solo Sikoa attacked his brother Jey. Jey fought back. And then Roman Reigns hit the Superman punch to Jey, went for the spear, but Jey countered it, hit his own spear, and then he went to the outside of the ring. He called over Jimmy. Jimmy thought that Jey was forgiving him, so Jimmy went over there and acted like he was going for a hug. But then Jey super kicked Jimmy. Did not forget about SummerSlam. Got a little bit of payback. But what is going on with payback? Because it doesn't look like we're getting the match right now. Jey went over to the camera and said he's out of the Bloodline, which has been established. He's out of SmackDown, and he's out of WWE. And he walked out through the crowd. Jey Uso, in kayfabe, in storyline, has quit WWE, which begs the question, are they holding off on the brother versus brother match for WrestleMania? Is this the end for now? Very interesting ending. I actually have more questions now than I did before. I mean, they did kind of answer the storyline, but at the same time, I'm still wondering, where are they going with this? It was very interesting. Again, I'm not going to knock it because I need to see how it plays out. As far as the explanation goes, I mean, I guess it makes sense. And they were kind of teasing it. I get it. Like, he doesn't want Jey to have all the power and then turn out to be a jackass like Roman. I could see that. Like, we've seen it happen in wrestling. Ric Flair won the presidency of WCW and then he turned into a jackass, just like Eric Bischoff. It happens. I can suspend disbelief with that and believe that Jimmy really felt that way. But like, this was their chance to take down Roman Reigns and they didn't do it. So I have mixed feelings on it, but I'm definitely not soured on this by any means. I am intrigued to see where it goes next. And they had me interested and invested. So I do think the ending was a success. And I'm curious about the Rey Mysterio storyline. It was a good show. There was some filler. The women's segment felt very much like a filler segment. And the Karrion Kross match was what it was. I mean, I wasn't really a big fan of it. Overall, I give SmackDown a B. I think it was a good show. And I did forget to mention a super chat from Psycho Jet Black. He says, if Vince was in charge, Corbin would retire Edge. Why would you even put that in the universe, man? I mean, you might be right, but let's just not even think about that. Miguel sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that, Miguel. I appreciate it. It says, Theory and Grayson Waller as the new two-man power trip. Now, I think that's a better team. Like, if they're not completely giving up on Austin Theory, there's an idea. You could have them as a tag team boasting that they're the future of WWE. Might not be a bad idea. We'll see if they end up going that route. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. It says, here's an idea. LWO turns on Rey Mysterio, goes heel, beat him up, and then Carlito returns to WWE to help Rey Mysterio. The LWO resorts back to the losers they were. Maybe that's where they're going with this. Where is Carlito? Oh, did I read the wrong super chat? I think I completely read I didn't put the correct super chat on the screen is what I did. This was Rage of Wrestling, Walter Cruz mentioning the LWO, and I'll get to that other one in just a second here. Carlito has been not appearing despite all the rumors that he was coming back. And you know what? Ooh, just heard some thunder. Carlito, he should be back. Like, I think there's something you can do with him. And there were some credible outlets that were reporting he was coming back. I don't know what the deal is here, but I mean, there is an idea that he helps Rey Mysterio and Carlito feud against the LWO as heels. Maybe we'll have that happen. Maybe Carlito takes over the LWO as a heel too. I mean, that's a possibility. Now, Psycho Jet Black sent in $2, and thank you guys for your super chats. Much appreciated. Says, when should the WWE do the Bloodline 4-way? I thought they were going to do this at Survivor Series. Maybe they still will. Maybe this Jey Uso quitting only lasts a week, and it's not something like where he's gone until Royal Rumble or something. We'll have to wait and see. Like, I definitely think something's happening with Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, but you have to think at some point they're going to do the Bloodline 4-way with those four guys. I mean, you have to think they're going to do Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa one-on-one and do the 4-way before WrestleMania. I still think it's going to be Cody in the spot at WrestleMania. So they got to do those matches. I don't feel like Roman's doing another match until Survivor Series. So it could be maybe Roman versus Solo at Survivor Series and then the 4-way at Royal Rumble, or reverse that. I could definitely see that. But I would suspect one of those two shows, Survivor Series or Rumble. Hopefully I don't lose you guys here. This thunderstorm is getting pretty intense. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat, says, will Jimmy bury Jey in the desert like Ric Flair? He'll bury Jey in the graveyard like Jason Voorhees, and then the lightning strike will come down and Jey will come back to life and he'll turn into zombie Jey Uso to get his revenge on Jimmy. I don't know. But hopefully they don't do anything even remotely close to that Vince Russo segment or what I just suggested for that matter. I think SmackDown was a good show. I'm going with a solid B for SmackDown. Like, I did have a few issues here and there, but main event was very intriguing. And the title change, also intriguing. And looking forward to Edge and Sheamus on next week's show. Very solid SmackDown. And that's all I got for SmackDown, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching tonight. I very much appreciate it. NoDQ.com will keep you updated with all the wrestling news and rumors. It's going to be a busy month coming up. Like I said, we got several big shows, All In, All Out, Payback, all coming up. That also means predictions. So stay tuned to NoDQ.com for that. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe out there, especially if you're in an area with the thunderstorms or bad weather. Stay safe. Stay indoors. Take care, everybody. Much love to all of you out there. Say yes to NoDQ.com, and I will see you all next time.